And welcome to the Business Spotlight. I'm your host, Patrick Dewar. We have a fabulous show today. I wanted to bring in a specialist in the legal field. You're going to love Kimberly Doom. I affectionately call her the Doominator, but that's probably what her opponents end up calling her because they're dealing with a very experienced attorney with Lloyd Ward & Associates, and they serve the Texas area. I know she's done a great deal of work in the Dallas and Fort Worth area. And so, Kimberly, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being. Thanks for being on the show. Me. Yeah. I'm really excited about this because you have a real unique story. You specialize in, I want to say family law, but you do a lot of other business type of law as well.
Yes.
And so tell me your story. How did you decide to choose to be an attorney?
Well, it was one of those things when I was in high school. I went to a great high school, and I was lucky enough to go to Kentucky Girls State, where the girls go and run for office, and my high school had a very strong program where you were expected to run for something. So I chose to run for Attorney General. And I got there, and I ran a campaign. I spoke to about 700 girls, and I loved it, and I won. And I decided it was fate and that I should be an attorney because I was the Attorney General at Girls State.
Now, in your practice, I know doing a lot of family law, and I always love to call you the Doominator, and part of that's because I've been through a divorce before. I know that it can be very, very painful, and you need to have somebody that's skilled. How does the law profession, and how does that story apply to you?
Well, I think I do a really good job of relating to my clients because I am the child of divorce. I raised a stepchild in my marriage, and I am divorced. And so I've been through it from almost every aspect you can go and walk the walk, and so it really helps me relate to my clients.
I would imagine that's a huge deal, too, because when you get in front of somebody and you tell them, look, I know what it means. I've been there. That gives you that authority, doesn't it?
It does, and it really, I think the most thing that people want to know is that you hear them and that you understand what they're trying to say.
Well, I think that's in your field, or in your, I should say, with your firm, you guys do a lot of different things. How would you describe Lloyd Ward & Associates?
I would describe us as a business law boutique. They had quite a few family law clients, and that's why they brought me on. So I have the luxury of doing business law, and I love doing that, and that affords me the opportunity to really cherry pick and work with clients who I mesh well with and who work well with me and represent them, and it really gives a more unique experience because I really do get to cherry pick and be more exclusive about the clients I take.
Yeah, I would imagine that that's an important thing too, because in any I want to say collaboration. When you're hiring an attorney, I've hired an attorney and I said, I need an anaconda. I want somebody that is going to be everything that we need in the courtroom. Are you the lady? And so when you're dealing with your people, you're out to make sure they get what they want to the best of your ability, right?
Right.
Right. Now, in the corporate field, because I do want to make sure that I know that you do a lot of family.
Yes.
But I know one of your proudest adventures was recently, I guess this last year, you won a big case. And tell me a little bit about, not the case itself, but I mean the pieces to the case.
I had the opportunity to do an 8-day jury trial back in the summer, and I got to walk through that, present my case, put my case together, and it was really a wrong had been done, and I got to really story tell, and that's what I enjoy doing is telling the story, and told it in a way that the jury believed and rewarded my client for the damages that he had suffered. And it was a very rewarding experience.
Well, I wouldn't doubt. I wouldn't doubt. So, one of the things that we want to get into as we go through this show, because the Business Spotlight is really an opportunity for a business to tell their story, to really show why they're unique and special, what it is that they are bringing to the marketplace as a whole, and then even beyond that, we integrate some other specialists. You'll hear from Kathy Brandon, you'll hear from Mark Hardy. Kathy's a social media specialist. Mark is a PR specialist. And how that applies to in this instance, the legal field. And so if you're a business owner, you're going to get a lot out of hearing kind of the rest of the story, not to steal from anyone else, but just to acknowledge that this show is really the business spotlight, telling your story in the marketplace and at large. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Lloyd Ward. Welcome to the law offices of Lloyd Ward & Associates.
At Lloyd Ward & Associates, we are a results-driven law firm, aggressively representing individuals and companies of all sizes who seek the knowledgeable legal counsel and skilled team of attorneys in the Dallas area. Known for our integrity and long-term relationships with our clients, we work to provide you with the most practical and cost-effective litigation solutions available. So if you have an issue in the matters of oil and gas law, business law, real estate law, or even just civil litigation, our professional staff of licensed law practitioners will provide the quality preventative law you need. Lloyd Ward has 25 years of experience and a team of fierce, practical advocates with your best interest in mind. We understand that in an ever-growing digital world, business is no longer conducted from 9 to 5. That's why we're always available. Lloyd Ward & Associates. Call us or visit us online.
And welcome back to the Business Spotlight. I'm your host, Patrick Dewar. My guest today, Kimberly Doom, an attorney in the Dallas-Fort Worth area with Lloyd Ward & Associates at lloydward.com. You're going to love this interview because Kimberly has been working in the family law as well as the business law in the DFW area, and she can serve all of the state of Texas. Thank you so much, Kimberly.
Thanks again for having me.
I want to get into in this segment what you guys are doing to create the success you're having. We talked a little bit about Lloyd Ward being a boutique, but what else are you guys doing that makes you guys so unique in the marketplace?
I think mostly what we do is give really good client service. We can relate to the clients. We listen to the clients and listen to what they're wanting. And more importantly, we help set the expectations of what they can expect, what the process is like, because the legal world is very, very scary and most people don't understand. So what is very important is they understand what's going on, and this is what you can expect, and this is how what you're asking for measures up against the expectations, so that we're not promising something we can't deliver, but that we can work really hard to achieve their objectives.
Right. I know that that's a big part. Now, some of the areas of expertise that you guys deal with?
We deal with, the firm as a whole deals with business law, litigation, corporations, incorporations, transactional items, any of those things we can service.
Go ahead. I was going to say I even saw oil and gas
Yes.
Law.
Yes.
And do you guys do anything with the real estate area and things of that nature?
We do. We do transactional work. Anything that a business is going to need, we can service. We can do that work for them.
Awesome. One of the reasons why Mark Hardy is back on, and welcome back on the show, Mark.
Thanks, Pat.
Yeah, Mark Hardy, PR specialist. Main Topic Media is your company.
Yes.
And your website again, Mark?
MainTopicMedia.com or 30minutepr.com.
And that's because you're the guy that has the tools to help somebody really, I want to say, get themselves out there.
Yeah, and one of the questions I had for you is, I wanted to approach this like a potential client would. And so what I did is I Googled you. I actually didn't Google you, I Googled Lloyd Ward. And one of the things that I saw was a 5-star review for you personally for a particular case. So my question is, so much what's happening right now, people are making decisions online. It's not just restaurants, like where to go to eat. It's making key decisions, particularly with professional services, like a law firm. So Is that something you envision your firm doing more of, being more proactive in terms of getting those positive client relationships, things out there into the internet or the media?
Absolutely, that's what we do. And I get a lot of clients who are grateful. What can I do? That kind of thing. How can I repay you? And I always ask, just go online, give me a great review, because I myself am one of those people who research things that way, and it really does make a difference.
Excellent.
I know that one of the other things that you're really known for, Mark, is reputation management. Are there, as for any attorney, are there keys that they should begin to implement?
Absolutely, and with the risk of this sounding a little bit self-serving, recently Google made a lot of changes, and it made it very difficult. There's a term, search engine optimization, and just when you think you know what the game plan and the rules are, Google changes it. So now you've got to kind of be reactive. And one of the things that not only will work now, but today, tomorrow, next year, is what we're doing right now, video. Google owns YouTube. Do you think they have a self-interest in seeing that videos are going to be ranked accordingly? So if you look, now assuming the video is entered properly and uses the right keywords without getting too technical, so somebody's doing a search, videos are going to rank higher. So that has two advantages. One is that if there's something bad, you can push it down because video will rank higher. And number two, it gets positive messages out there. And if it's a video, somebody can bond with you. They can see who you are, what you sound like. You can build a little bit of rapport that you couldn't do just with text on a web page.
That is really good. I know as we're wrapping up this segment, one, I hope that you guys will begin to employ some of the pieces. But the idea in the Business Spotlight is really, let's shine a big light on what you're doing and then add value always. So I hope that you've enjoyed that segment. I know we've got another segment coming with Kathy Brandon. Kathy's a social media specialist. She has figured out what I call the key ingredient or the combination on getting an ROI on your social media. So I know that you'll want to be here for that. This is Pat Dewar and the Business Spotlight, and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Lloyd Ward. Welcome to the law offices of Lloyd Ward & Associates.
At Lloyd Ward and Associates, we are a results-driven law firm, aggressively representing individuals and companies of all sizes who seek the knowledgeable legal counsel and skilled team of attorneys in the Dallas area. Known for our integrity and long-term relationships with our clients, we work to provide you with the most practical and cost-effective litigation solutions available. So if you have an issue in the matters of oil and gas law, business law, real estate law, or even just civil litigation, our professional staff of licensed law practitioners will provide the quality preventative law you need. Lloyd Ward has 25 years of experience and a team of fierce, practical advocates with your best interest in mind. We understand that in an ever-growing digital world, business is no longer conducted from 9 to 5. That's why we're always available. Lloyd Ward and Associates. Call us or visit us online.
And welcome back to the Business Spotlight. I'm Patrick Dewar. My guest today is Kimberly Doom of Lloyd Ward & Associates, lloydward.com. They're a boutique law firm. She's an attorney specializing in family law and business law in the Dallas-Fort Worth area especially. And in this segment, I think you'll really get a lot out of it. Even if you're a business owner just trying to grow your business, and you're going to get a lot out of the fact that we're going to talk about who is your ideal client, Kimberly.
Wow, if I get to cherry pick and just my perfect client, no client's going to be perfect because we're not perfect people, but really the clients that I love to work with are the ones who really just want to do their divorce with dignity.
Yeah.
You walk into a marriage usually with dignity, and you want to leave with dignity. It just doesn't really have to be as difficult as some people make it. And an attorney can set the tone and make or break that. And I really want to work with clients who have proper expectations and who just really want to be dignified in the way that they go about handling a divorce.
But aren't most adults, kids in big clothing?
Yes. Yes, they are.
I mean, the average American emotionally stops aging at about 14.
Yes.
And how does that show up when you have to deal with?
Well, when people come to see me, they're usually in a broken spot, and I expect that. But there's a process that you move along, and really, there's two transactions. There's an emotional transaction to divorce, and there's a business transaction to a divorce. And I'm there to help them with the business transaction, but the way I like to handle it is I interweave the two. You get a little counseling, you get a little business stuff, because they're not completely separate.
Right.
But some people really don't want to move along the process. Some people just want to stay back here and not move forward. But if you want to handle it with dignity, especially when there are kids involved, and you owe it to the kids to just make it as good as you can make it.
I have to admit, having been through a divorce, you know, the theme song that's going in my mind is that Alfred Hitchcock, you know, type of just ow, you know. And I know that's the way it kind of, what are some of the pieces in bringing people together that, that you really shine at?
I think where I really shine is because I can relate, and I went through one of those divorces where it really was at the beginning, and then at the end it was, you know, it's a process, and it's moving them through, hearing them, and sometimes you have to give them a little tough love and tell them things they don't want to hear. You can't be a yes man because the answer is not always yes, but really setting the expectations of, you know, this is where you are, this is where you want to be, what's the difference, and where can we give and take, and some things you want to give on, some things you don't. And only you can decide what those are. And I'm really good at helping people decide, do I really want to fight about that?
That's good. So Kathy Brandon's on the show today, and again, and I'm so thankful, Kathy, for you being here. And I know you're a social media specialist. Are there things that she can do, and her law firm can do, using social media to highlight her excellence into the marketplace and really create an ROI on her social media?
There certainly are. As an attorney, you have a huge opportunity to really be a person out on social media. There are many attorneys that go out on social media and they feel like they just have to be a professional. There's so many requirements, so many rules around what you can share. But one of the most important things for attorneys that a lot of people forget is an attorney is a human being. And in your industry specifically, and what I'm hearing and what I looked online about you, is that what makes you a great attorney is the fact that you are a fabulous human being. And because you care so deeply and you've been through the pain and heartache. And so that's the one recommendation that I want to make for you is be bolder as a human being in your profession, because you have every right to be proud of being a different type of attorney out there. Attorneys have quite a bad name for not being human beings. So the fact that you show up so caring, that's huge in the social media realm. The second thing that I want to charge you and inspire you and the firm to do is educate. Educate around, since you do work with family law, and I'm going to focus on that, not so much on the business law today, but we will over the next 6 weeks, is the family law, there are certain things that people have to be prepared for to just have a conversation, a healthy conversation about divorce. And so I would recommend that the firm literally champion that education for America. You can do that through social media. You can do that, like Mark said, about video. You can champion that knowledge for the world through the firm. And those are the two areas I think you can be most powerful in.
Great, thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, because I know that as we're talking about the legal profession with Kimberly Doom, Kathy Brandon sharing the social media side of that, it really is how can they shine the best in the world, because with 1 billion people on social media, it's a marketplace to penetrate. This is the business spotlight, and we're letting them tell their story. We hope you do too. We'll be right back with more of the Business Spotlight.
Hi, I'm Lloyd Ward. Welcome to the law offices of Lloyd Ward & Associates.
At Lloyd Ward and Associates, we are a results-driven law firm, aggressively representing individuals and companies of all sizes who seek the knowledgeable legal counsel and skilled team of attorneys in the Dallas area. Known for our integrity and long-term relationships with our clients, we work to provide you with the most practical and cost-effective litigation solutions available. So if you have an issue in the matters of oil and gas law, business law, real estate law, or even just civil litigation, our professional staff of licensed law practitioners will provide the quality preventative law you need. Lloyd Ward has 25 years of experience and a team of fierce, practical advocates with your best interest in mind. We understand that in an ever-growing digital world, business is no longer conducted from 9 to 5. That's why we're always available. Lloyd Ward and Associates. Call us or visit us online.
And welcome back to the Business Spotlight. Patrick Dewar here with Kimberly Doom of Lloyd Ward and Associates, an attorney firm in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, representing, essentially serving Texas. Kimberly, this time, I want to get into how people can connect to you. We know you as the boutique. We see that you specialize in family law and that you are really good in that area and really good for your clients because you've been there, you've done that. How does somebody connect to you? And what's the process of the engagement?
They can connect to me by giving us a call. The phone number is 972-361-0036. They can also go to lloydward.com and find the number there or email. But generally what happens is they give us a call. They can speak to me just preliminarily on the phone, gets a feel for things. They make an appointment, and really the meat of the matter is when we're face to face. And they tell me the situation, and I listen to them, and we just kind of talk, and they tell me kind of where they are, and it really helps me gauge where they are mentally, legally, that kind of thing. And then I explain the process to them, because it is very scary, but once you kind of know the process and what to expect, what the expectations are, it's much less scary. And then we start proceeding accordingly.
Very good. So you're dealing with somebody that's been offended typically. Would that be about right?
Well, maybe.
I think of anything from, everything except maybe business law where there's a contract involved, right? Where you're getting one set. But when you're talking about a separation or divorce or something of that nature, that's an emotionally charged event.
Right.
There's somebody's offended.
Yes.
Typically.
Yes.
You know. They sit down with you. They have their consultation. You let them know what some of the steps are. How long is that process now for that to begin and maybe eventually to get a court date? Is it very long?
Well, it depends on the circumstances, because the minimum number of days it can take to get divorced is 60 days from the date you file the petition. But it rarely happens on the 61st day that you file and prove up a divorce. Every case is different, and your needs may be different. Are you in a situation where you need temporary help? Is someone in the home that won't leave? Do you need support right away? Do we need to go see the judge and have the judge make a decision on what it will look like until we do make this final? Will you have to go to trial? There's a number of things that we have to go through that I have to hear from my clients and ask them questions so that I can ascertain where they are and how to proceed.
How complicated is the child scenario? When children are involved, how much of that gets in? How big of a piece of that, of the puzzle is that? Well,
if there are children involved, it's absolutely huge. There are so many different alternatives. They can pursue different avenues, and sometimes you have to have a hearing right away, and sometimes you don't. Sometimes mediation is involved where there's a third party and you go and you just try to hammer it out, and I really encourage that. I call it getting a custom home versus a track home. If you go the mediation route, you can really carve it and make it say what you want. If you go the route where you have to go talk to the judge, you're going to get the custom home, where that's what everybody gets. It's really not, it's track home, it's not custom to you. So if you want some control and you want to do it so that it looks like what fits your family, then either mediation or some kind of negotiation is the way to go. So
Lloyd Ward, it sounds like, are they pretty much specialists at negotiation and really getting to know what their client is trying to do?
Absolutely, because I think that's where your money is best spent, trying to figure out what you want, what they want, what middle ground that you have that's common, where you differ, and how you can come together on those differences before you have to go have a judge decide how you're going to come together on the differences.
Because is it true that in a lot of the, like divorce and other things, that so much of the control really is in the hands of the main people that are in the contract or agreement? I'm thinking, you know, if it's a divorce, then you got your husband, your wife, and they're there. Much of that can be settled here. It doesn't have to have the state shackles on it, does it?
That's exactly right. You can really make it look like something that's a custom home. That's my analogy I love to use because people understand that. You can make it look like what you want it to look like and come to an agreement so that it works for your family. Every family is different, and even though you're going to be a separate family, you're still going to have kids together, and you're still going to be a family, and you have to work together.
After the divorce, how involved do you stay typically with your clients? And the reason why I ask this is because I know how involved my attorney was. It took us 10 years of different kinds of continually adjusting because things were life changes.
Right. Well, I like to keep in touch with my clients because I'm very personally involved. I want to know the backstory.
Right.
I knew the front story. I want to see them succeed and do well. And you can make adjustments. As long as you both agree, you can make adjustments. But when someone doesn't agree, that's when I may have to get involved again. So it just depends on the family and how well they can adjust and cope and tweak to make things fit. Every time you tweak, you don't have to go back to court.
If you were talking to I want to say a couple that they know they're going down that road, what are 2 or 3 things you would tell them to really get in order before you even sat down with the attorney?
Wow. I would tell them to know what their expenses are, what their assets are, what direction they want to go, what they want it to look like. In their perfect world of this imperfect divorce, what's that going to look like, and how can we accomplish that? And even the most contentious divorces a lot of times have common ground, and let's find that common ground and use that as a base to work from.
Wow. I know that as we're wrapping up today's show, Lloyd Ward & Associates, I've met the group, that I met the owner, and I've known Kimberly now for a little over a year. I've seen her work with a number of friends of mine, and just the way that her integrity is something that I've been real impressed with. We always call her the Doominator just because it makes fun of her last name, but I'm sure that there are a lot of clients that she served that their opponents probably felt that way. So I'm thankful for that. Visit Lloyd Ward & Associates at lloydward.com. Give Kimberly a call. If you're in that situation, you need a good attorney. I'm really thrilled with what I see in her. This is the Business Spotlight. You tell your story to the marketplace and abroad. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.